Good evening and welcome. Welcome to my live stream, Fight CPS and Stop Taking Our Children. I'm glad you found me. You found me on Facebook. Stop Taking Our Children. And that is the one of the two live streams I do on a daily basis, 7 days a week. That's 14 live streams, and I've been doing it since October of 2023. That's 19 months, a long time. I'm your host, Bob Pace, and I want to give a warm welcome to help you with CPS. Now, what I call CPS is the Child Protection System. It's a public agency that's mandated by Congress in 62, directive to social service to create a group of social workers to protect our children from neglect and abuse. In 74, they instituted the laws that would protect our children. Now, that seems like, just yesterday because, the welfare of our children has been going on for over 400 years. And the history of child welfare is designated in three parts, from 1600, the early colonial days, to 1875. That was part one. And in 1875, two things were transitioning. One was the societies, especially the one in New York, that put money into a group of individuals to help protect our children. Also in 1875, we were rounding up the Native American Indians, the first immigrants to North America, and we were putting them on reservations. Also, we were taking the children and put them in private school and erase their Indian heritage, which is a bad mistake. You cut their hair, you tell them they got to wear civilized, what the people in civilized society called civilized clothes. They thought that the animal skins and the material that's made by hand and stuff was not civilized. So they want them to wear what they perceived. They want them to follow their religion and their rules, but they never returned back to their families. These Indian children were adopted out and they died, never knowing their mom and dad. It was a sad tragic. Now, from 1875 to 1962 was the second transition of child welfare. And in that period, we had some sweatshops going on, children that were being abused and so forth. Again, it was the societies that continued to protect our children. It wasn't until the third period, 62 to the present, that we had some formal organization. Now, there's many names of these child protection systems. There's just too many right now. I mean, there's the Child Protection Services, there's Department of Children and Family Services, Department of Children's Services, the Cabinet, etc. So I just say CPS. So we're talking about the child protection system at CPS. And it's found in every county and every state. And sadly, there are a lot of rogue CPS systems, ones that have really taken advantage of the money system. It's $1 trillion business. And they do like to break up families. That was really sad because in 1994, 7, I think it was. Let me double check here. It was 1997. Bill Clinton signed into law HR 867, the adoption of the Safe Family Act. And what that did, it eroded family reunification, is what it did. Um, because they were rewarding the efforts of the child protection system to have foster care adoption. They're rewarding them by $35,000. They're awarded to the child protection agency for every child that they get adopted. And that is wrong. That is totally, totally wrong. Um, that's sad that they did that. Now, um, in 1978, which is before 1997, there was the ICWA, the Indian Child Welfare Act, which finally stopped the stealing of the Indian children and forced the CPS to find out if they were Indian children. If they were registered, they could be sent to the reservation. The reservation would take care of their own. And all you have to do is be Indian, you have Indian blood, Indian connection, and be registered with one of the 548 federal recognized Indian tribes. Uh, my, I wear contact lenses, and now one of them got off centered, so I apologize if I try to slide my lens back on my eyeball. I think I can barely see it, but it's in the corner of my eye. Um, it happens every so often there. Uh, okay. Um, Now, this live stream is interactive, and so it's up to you what you want from it. I too have been a victim of CPS. I lost my family. My family was broken apart. My whole life was in shambles. It started for me about 15 years ago. Unfortunately, at the age of 60, I was laid off, and I did not know it that my in-laws were calling in and reporting that me and my wife were doing things to our children, which wasn't true. They were trying to take our children. They've always been not supportive ever since I married. We were married 31 years ago, or two, or whatever. But I have 42 years of marriage experience, and I have a lot of life skills and a lot of things that can help you. But nothing's more terrible than a late time in life to be ripped apart. Also, a lot of you sometimes are ripped apart at the beginning. Now, when you lose a job, you lose your income. Now, I was smart. I put away money, but I did not know that I'd have to pay for an attorney. An attorney cost a lot to get my children back. It was definitely a lot of money. But anyway, I'm here to relate what happened to me and don't make the same mistakes. I developed 5 rules that you need to follow. If I did those 5 rules, I would never have been involved in CPS or had my children taken from me. And I really want to emphasize that we need to help one another. That's what this room's all about. I have people from around the world. I have 1,700, over 1,700 people that have either texted or called in from 23 countries, including the U.S. Countries such as Indonesia, Bangladesh, India, uh, uh, Libya, Saudi Arabia. Then over in Africa, we have Liberia and Sudan. And the newest country that has texted, Republic of Congo, then Rwanda, then Mozambique, and then the country of South Africa, and several of the provinces in South Africa. Then we go up to Europe, and I have England and Scotland and Wales, Denmark and Sweden. And across the pond in North America, I have Canada and several provinces there. I have the United States. All 50 states have called in, and many times over too, including the District of Columbia. And with that being said, it's really tough for all of you to fight this alone, and you need to have an attorney. And that is one obstacle, especially that all of you have in common with me, is no income. When you don't have income, it really penalizes you. I don't know how to emphasize that, but it really is really hard when you're sitting there trying to pay your bills. That's one of the bad things about the Child Protection Agency. It doesn't really do what they should do, is help you. They should be giving you benefits of help, support. I'm going to see if I can. The things we can do in this room is you can take notes and you can call in. You can be a guest. You can text messages. I'll ask for you that when you text a message, that's either as a comment or a question that should pertain to CPS. Please state your first name, your city or county, and your state and a country. Also, please tell me about your CPS case from beginning to where you're at. Now, also, to be a guest on my live stream is all you have to do is email one of my 14 shows, and you email it to my show producer, who is Grace at VincentWDavis.com. I want to thank her for all the hard work that she does. and you just give the day and the time you want to be on our show. Now, I'm on Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. On the weekends, I'm on at 8 a.m. In the evenings, I'm on 7 days a week at 7 p.m. Those times are all Pacific Standard Time. The West Coast of California, I'm broadcast from Surf City, USA, 3 blocks from the ocean. And I'd love to have you. One of my 14 uh, live streams. You just pick, I want to be Bob's morning show on Saturday, or his evening show on Friday, or his Wednesday morning show, or his Tuesday. One of those 14 slots you ask to be on. And you can be on as much as you want, by the way. You can be on every night of the week if you want to. There's room for 9 of you. Including makes 10, so we can have 9 people talking here on the live stream, talking here and exchanging notes and stuff and helping one another. So that's another way. The last way to interact here is to call in, and you can call my number. It's 626-698-0990. And the other number, 888-888-6582, is the number of my office. That's where you can reach Vincent Davis. If your already mind's made up and you need an attorney, he's available. When you call 888-888-6582, tell reception that Bob Pace sent you. When you speak to Mr. Davis, tell them that Bob Pace sent you. And that's the law firm. That's where you get lots of information about his book, his guides, when he'll be on live stream. Other people will be on live stream. I'll be on live stream. So there's a lot of information, that number. Now, my 626-698-0990 is my phone. And I love to hear from you and talk about your case. I'm here to help. As I say, I have 42 years of marriage experience. I've helped raise 6 children. 3 were older and have families of their own. Luckily, they were not caught up in CPS, but I've lost kind of touch, and CPS has destroyed our family. I lost my home that I worked 45 years for. I had to sell it to hire an attorney. I had to do what's called a quick sale. And my employment thing is really hard because you have the CPS in your background, and people like to stay away from people that are caught up in CPS. So it's not like I get a lot of calls for jobs or something like that. I try to go out and get jobs, but it's really hard and far few. So we have people coming in the room, which are regulars and stuff like that. And there's Tony the Tiger from New York. That is called Cassandra. Hi, Cassandra. And she's from Otago County. And she said that the SOS court moved tomorrow and take my son through the hospital. It's lies in the report. Oh, my goodness. You got to tell me more, Tony. If you want to call in, you can. I'd like to know more, Tony. That sounds terrible. They moved tomorrow's court moved tomorrow, and you're taking your son to the hospital. It's lies in the report. I need more information. It's helter skelter. Tell me more, Tony. I'll help you. You know that. Tony's been one of our regulars on here. She has different names and so forth. It's Cassandra, and she has a bad case in Ostanego, New York. And that county is really a bad county for her. You said that your son was wrong for trying to go kill his cousin, but my sister-in-law set him up by having her son beat on my son, calling in 5 minutes to hospital social worker violation HIPAA. I'm calling in 5 minutes. Okay, good. You call in 5 minutes. That's good. Okay, Cassandra's going to call in. She's one of the regulars here, and I'm glad that she reaches out. And we already have some emojis. Thank you for the emojis from Christina Reynosa from California and Dorothy Cook from North Carolina. It's a it's a sad face they both have. And Dorothy Cook gave me a thumbs out. And then Dorothy Cook is coming here. Have Has there been any updates on the Doge government and CPS? Not really. The only thing I've noticed in Doge is that Elon Musk is backing out to try to take care of his businesses. One of them, Telstar, has been wrongly sabotaged, and he's had a lot of vindictive things directed towards him because of Doge. People don't like the rough feathers, especially if there's corruption. It's going to make a lot of waves. People are set in their ways and they hate for changes. And we need to have the investigation of child protection systems because they are corrupt. There are rogue ones, and they're really not really helping out the children. Not really helping out the children. Now, as you all know, I have my 5 rules. I've talked about them. Rule 1 is that we get a real attorney. It's hard to turn down a free attorney, but you get when it is free. That attorney, that court-appointed attorney, the child protection system hopes you take it because they can control that attorney because they hired it. I'm still trying to get my contact lens on center here. Ah, boy. Well, it's still a problem. Oh, good grief. It's irritating. It really is. It's in the corner of my eye. As you can probably see in my eyes here. Jeez. I went out surfing today. The waves were up, and I had to go out and get my gills wet. So I'm a little disheveled a little bit. But it was a nice time being out there in the water, get my gills wet and stuff. Um, so as I was talking about our rules here, rule number 1 is so important if you have that attorney because the regular ones are not trained in the areas of juvenile law, family law, or dependency law. You need an attorney that's done so. And I have an attorney. His name is Vincent W. Davis. If you look at the picture on the right-hand side of my screens, there's a picture of him. And he does a lot of live stream himself. He's been fighting CPS and gotten children back for over 39 years. That's a long time, almost 40 years. He once was a foster kid himself, so he knows the system. He's also a trial attorney. He does trials. He can also do civil lawsuits. He's sued CPS and won millions of dollars, both in state and federal court. Oh, Christina, I have a contact lens that went off centered and it's at the corner of my eye and it irritates me because I'm trying to put it on there. I can only see half the screen. When I was rushing to get on, I accidentally bumped my eyes and knocked the lens off center. So I'll get it back. I'll get it back. Um, but thank you, Christina. Thank you for looking after me. And, you know, these rules I come up with, whether it's the attorney or your documents is so important to have a notebook and put everything in there and organize it with tabs and to create one document that's so important. It's called the incident time log. You need to record, like you do with a journal or anything else, your daily um, situations, your incidents that happen with the police, with the social workers, with the school, with your children, with your neighbors, whatever. And you record each incident in time, the oldest being first. And you only have to use 3 sentences of a page of a paper. Your first sentence is the location or the phone number of what the incident was. You put the date, the time, and the people involved. Then on the second sentence, on the second line, you put a sentence, a summary, a one sentence summary of what the incident was about. Then the third line, you put the outcome. If you don't know the outcome, then you come back later and fill it in. But you do that for the life of your case. And your case may go a minimum 1 year or maybe 3 years or whatever. So that's why it's important. Yes, there is special help for parents with disability. But what is sad is the help is far and few. That's the problem. The emphasis is CPS, the bad ones, putting fear into you. And they like to prey on the people that are low income. Now, just because you're low income doesn't mean you're neglecting your children. You may need help in food or shelter or something. It's not a crime. And that's what they're supposed to do, is offer you food and shelter and clothing and medical and educational and transportation and even a job. On top of doing family reunification, helping the parents with classes or programs that can correct a behavior that maybe was inappropriate. Now, I'm not talking about the outright crimes against children where they're beaten or battered or starved to death or left alone for weeks at a time. I'm talking about minor difficulties like your choice to do drugs when you're not supposed to do drugs when you have children. A lot of people have some bad habits. So there's a program that can help you with drug addiction or drugs or whatever. Same thing goes for alcohol because alcohol is like a drug. Smoking's a drug too. Uh, it is sad that we have these vices in life, and they do interfere with upbringing of our children. Uh, we do it that. Yes, there is special help, and I think this is going to be Cassandra. Whoop, did have her for a second, but then lost her. Let me try again. Hello, Cassandra?
Hello?
Yeah, hello, Cassandra. Do you hear me?
I can. I got a new phone.
Oh, okay. This is Cassandra, who's Tony the Tiger, who has had something wrong with her son in her court date. You like to elaborate more on that?
Well, so if you want to go back, this has been going on since my son was in my stomach.
Well, I thought this was something new because we've talked about your case, but you said today your court was postponed. I didn't quite. You said the SOS. Now, who is SOS?
No, it was like SOS, like when you need help or something.
Okay, you said the court moved tomorrow in the morning. What do you mean they moved tomorrow in the morning?
Yeah, we weren't supposed to have court until July.
Oh, they held court this morning?
What? No, this is something new. Like, my court date's not until July 9th. And actually, my last lawyer told me, no, it's July 2nd, I think. But I got certain papers today because I have a lawyer that goes into the hospital for me because my son ended up in the hospital again. And the hospital is like really corrupt too. Like they're working with CPS. And so,
why was your son taken in the hospital, Cassandra?
Well, this time he was taken because he went over to the trailer park where I really didn't want him going, but he goes over there to hang out with his cousins because they're boys. and all he has here is his sisters.
Who
So he
does
goes over
who
to,
has
and the school has
custody?
isolated
Who
him.
has custody of your son?
I have custody. So I have full custody back, and I got it back because CPS realized they were wrong and was scared to go to court and everything be found out. So they just dropped everything on me and just didn't tell nobody. They didn't even tell anybody that everything was dropped. And so I got custody back of my son. We went through the court thing, and they had said that they had no problem with giving my son back. They were just concerned about my living situation. And so I ended up in this building, which I believe is part of everything too, because just the way it's all set up.
Could you explain to what you ended up in? I didn't quite hear that. What did you end up in?
It's like a, what is it we call it?
A halfway
like
house?
complexes.
A halfway
I don't know
house?
No, it's a regular apartment. It's supposed to be for art students. And if you have like felonies and stuff, you're not supposed to be able to get in here. But there are people that have felonies, and like it's because of who they run with, I guess you could say.
Was the felony an old record? Are you done with your felony?
No, I don't have a felony. I'm saying the building. Like the building that I live in, if you have felonies, you're not supposed to be able to get in here. It was built supposedly to be for art students for the colleges that are here. Because they use the colleges to say that there's a SUNY college and a private college, Hartwick College, and they say, that that's what brings money into the town stuff, but it really doesn't. Because think about it, the college students take the jobs, they take the homes, they take everything. So how are they putting money in out here? The money out here comes on drugs because they have like a whole gang that runs drugs out here, and the cops are all involved in it. Yeah. CPS is all involved in it. Like everybody is. See,
I don't know this. This is something, and I apologize if I'm asking a lot of questions, but you have to talk about your case like really elementary. I do not know. So this is a college town, as you're saying. Are you enrolled as a college student?
No, I'm not. I'm a single mom.
All right. So what they did is that they rent out to people that are with felonies and people that are not college students. Is that what they do?
Well, that's what they're doing now, because like GSS has people in here, like the homeless and some like people that were drug addicts and stuff in here. And then they have a whole row, like at one end of the building, it's all drug dealers, and a lot of them are housed by CPS.
What is What is GFS?
DSS. It's Department of Social Services.
Oh, I'm just going to call CPS. Okay. So CPS is involved in this apartment complex, right?
I'm pretty sure they are, just because of the way it's set up.
So you have quite a mixture of people there. Now, why did you pick this?
Kind of, like,
why did you pick this? Why did you
pick to be here?
Oh, why were you put there?
Well, I had a worker through the Bassett healthcare system out here, and there's a huge waiting list for getting in here, and she put an application in for me, and she said she really wanted to see me in here, and I really didn't want to be in here because of the people that were in here. I had an application for someone else, but when I found out I could get custody of my son, I was like, okay, I'll take it if I can get in, because then I can get my son back. But then
go on. But then I lost you now. We're still connected, but I don't hear your voice anymore. Is something wrong with the phone you're using? For all your listeners, I'm talking to Cassandra, who's in New York. She is Tony the Tiger, and she's in a housing complex as a mixture of people. And somehow we've lost her for a bit here. Hopefully she'll come back on. Let me try again. Hello, Cassandra? Okay, we're going to try again.
leave your message for... Sorry, mailbox is full. To send an SMS notification, press 5. Your SMS notification will include your number 16266698090. You may enter a different number now, or press the pound sign to send your SMS notification. Your SMS has been sent. Thank you for calling.
Okay, it looks like her mailbox is full. We had phone magically cut out trying to call back in now. Okay. Well, I tried to call you too, Cassandra, but I got your voicemail is all full. Yeah, she's okay. We don't know how old her son is, and I don't know all the details. She sometimes, let me see now. Hey, are you okay?
Yeah, my phone like it just weirdly went out after like you were talking about it. I don't know, it just does weird stuff.
Well, that's the internet. I don't know if it's the internet or some type of your carrier, what it is. How old is your son, by the way? How old is your son?
He's 13.
So he's at that teenage years that comes to lots of want to see people and see friends. So we were talking, and you said that this is a housing complex that's a mixture of students in the art school, college, and homeless people, drug addicts, just like that. And why? I didn't quite understand. You said someone filled out an application to send you there. Why would you want to go to a place like that?
Well, I didn't want to, but the only reason I did was because there was a roof over my head so that I could get my son back. And it was available and it was affordable.
Gotcha.
And I was able to save some money.
So what happened before you happened before you moved there? How were you living?
On the street.
And how were you taking care of your how were you taking care of your son?
I wasn't. He was with my parents. So let me just go all the way back to when he first got taken.
Well, no. I need to understand in the beginning. You said you were homeless, but then what about your son? How were you able to take care of him? Or he wasn't with you or what?
No, he wasn't. But that's what I'm telling you. Like, if I go back, you'll understand it better.
Your case didn't start at the art school. It started before you were homeless. Okay. And how did it start?
So if we remember back, you know when the stimulus checks came out for everybody? There was like 3 of them or stuff like that?
Yeah.
So after that last stimulus check came out, CPS got involved, and they actually, I'm pretty sure they started in the trailer park I was living. I had my own trailer. I owned it. I had my own vehicles. I was taking care of my kids. But CPS came in with educational neglect to take my son from me, because he had missed so many days of school. But he got abused by the school. It was Riverside Elementary. A teacher had put his hands on my son. So I'm not going to send my kid there. And I went to the teacher, the superintendent, all of them. Nobody would do anything about it.
Okay.
And the superintendent said something about there was no cameras that could see that one area.
Right.
And the judge actually let him take him from me.
Okay, slow down. Okay, Cassandra, you're really emotional. I know you are trying to say it, but you got to go like half speed because I'm trying to understand it. And so you had your own home, you had your own vehicles. Where was the father all this time? Where's the biological father?
He hadn't been in my son's life since he was 3 months old.
Okay, so you were trying to raise a child by yourself. Question, did you have other children besides your son?
I have 3, my 2 daughters.
Are the 2 daughters from the same father?
No.
All right, and where's their fathers?
My oldest one, she's 18 and she lives with her dad.
Okay.
And the other one is 17. Like, he's still in their life. He takes care of them. And he was also, like, he helped out with my son, too.
Okay.
But I think CPS got to him and threatened him when had him at his house.
Oh, boy. So CPS has been involved with you for a long time. And
since my son was in my stomach.
Since your son was in your stomach. Why were they involved with you when your son was in your stomach?
I had an incident where my son's father was being abusive, and they told me if I left him, they would make sure that my bills were all paid and help me with everything, but I had to choose between my kids and him.
Oh, okay. So
and I
You
I didn't choose.
did you file a restraining order for domestic violence against your husband?
Yeah, we haven't been together since.
Okay, so you had a file there. Did you ever get convicted of domestic violence?
Yeah.
Okay, so now he's out of your life, but it sounds
He's been
like
out of my life.
this particular CPS entity doesn't want to help. They want to make your life hell. So
They do, because I won't conform and I know how the whole operation works.
yeah. Do you have any family members
And
that
I'm
could
telling
step
people.
in and help you?
Well, this is what I'm saying. Like, after Stimulus Check came out and stuff, they came after everybody's kids because there's a whole law, but it's like Bill Clinton made these laws. So if they remove fathers from a home, the state gets billions of dollars because they remove a father from a home. The stipulation is the father can't return to the home. Then there's also, if the state's adoption rates go up, then they get billions of dollars.
Well, they get $35,000 for every child they adopt in foster care, which is hurting family reunification.
Well, right, that's what they're doing. So they used to, like, when I was a kid, I was in the system too. And my foster mother told me, she said, if you're in the system, your kids are going to end up in the system.
That is so true. You said a magical thing. I forgot to ask you. If you're once in foster care, CPS will follow you when you're an adult and have children yourself, and they'll do nothing but to ruin your life. It's sad.
And that's why I think
but
they're after
all
my son.
People, when they grow up,
right,
all people, when they grow up, should purge their CPS cases. Once the case is over, you need to purge it. If you don't, they keep data. It's so sad the government has all this data on people, and especially they come after it. There's been so many parents I've talked to that once were foster kids themselves ended up having their children taken by the same CPS that took them from their parents. And I'm so sorry to hear about that. That is really wrong. So your son's in your stomach. Did they mess you up when he was birthed? I mean, when did they?
I left county. Like, I left to a whole other county, left far out of there. And they couldn't find me for a long time, and I was working 2 jobs. And when I came back, and I ended up in a shelter at one point, and the shelter, I think, was trying to help CPS take my kids. So they told CPS that I was screaming and yelling and beating on my kids, which I wasn't. So they wanted me out of the shelter. I think it was to make me homeless so they could take my kids.
Oh, boy.
But then CPS told me to stay for the weekend and they will help me on Monday. Nope, I sent my son out of state and I left. And they were never able to find me because I didn't get no public assistance, I didn't food stamps, I didn't get no help from them. So they had no reason to inquire about anything. But when they found out that where I was and stuff, they kept trying to come around with some stuff.
Now wait a second. How far were you away? Were you in another state?
Yep.
So why would the CPS of one state go track you down in another state?
No, they didn't. It was when I came back. They had.
Why did you want to come back? Why did you want to come back?
I don't know.
Because it seems like you're fine when you're away from them.
I guess this is home. I was born here.
Right. I understand how it is that you want to come back to your home. We all have a home. It's where our heart is.
My daughter's father, we have joint custody too. So I have to come back. Like, I won't leave because I have my daughters.
Okay. Understand.
And I'm scared for the way the system is up out here. I don't want them to get to my daughters.
Until you get help and find another place, or you get a real attorney, you're going to keep going through like a hamster in a spinning wheel. You're never going to go anywhere.
And that's the problem right now because I had a lawyer that could get my son out of the hospital. I have her helping me with the hospital, and that's the funny thing is they're trying to serve me papers today because my lawyer went in there and wrote a letter to tell them to release my son because they're illegally holding him, or we're going to go to the court. And I told her I just want to go. I'm not even threatening this time. We're filing the papers and we're going to Supreme Court because I'm done with this. And CPS needs to just leave me alone. I want justice. I don't even care when they get sued and stuff. But if you remember 2 weeks ago, they kidnapped my son. I called them. They said they had nothing to do with it. But if you had nothing to do with it, then when I called the sheriff's department, did they tell me I had to call CPS? It was CPS matter.
Well,
and I have the recordings. care if the sheriff's department tried to say there is no call or not. They didn't say that. I
What?
record all my calls, everything.
Right, right.
I'm not stupid, and that's the other problem. I'm not stupid, and I know what's going on.
Right.
But now they have the court papers that I got tonight. I really just found like an hour ago. The court papers say that my son has been living with his grandparents since May 6th, but he wasn't. You guys stole my kid. You kidnapped my kid and took him there.
Okay.
And they're saying my son carries knives because he's scared of me. And that in an interaction with me, I dropped a knife and I told them that I carry it for protection against my son. But that's not true. I dropped a knife when I was at the hospital. They told me I couldn't see my son because that was the reason, because I had a knife on me. They didn't know I had a knife on me until I went to leave. Because the social worker I was talking to, he actually violated the HIPAA. I said, you just violated HIPAA. You cannot sit there and talk about my son's care to a whole other person. You didn't get my permission for that. And he just stood there for like 5 minutes, like he was stupid or something. Then he said, I didn't give you permission to record me. You can't record me. Turn that off. I don't need your permission. New York State law says as long as one party knows that they're being recorded is all that they need.
What kind of attorney do you have? What's the background of that attorney?
It's a mental hygiene lawyer.
It's a what lawyer?
A mental hygiene lawyer, and that's actually what they're going against me in this court now. What does it say?
Who's paid for this attorney? Who's paid for this attorney?
I got the attorney myself.
I know, but how are you paying for him?
That doesn't really matter. She does it for you. Like she's fighting for people who have problems because the whole hospital system, and I think it's like, especially ever since like it's Fox Hospital, but it was taken over by the Baptist system. And
Does she have any background?
There,
does she have any background in dependency law, juvenile law, or family law?
No, I'm still trying to find one that's good out here.
Yeah, so that's the biggest problem. You got an attorney that's too Pacific. And
well, and that's the problem with this whole thing is because New York State is like the most corrupt state in the whole United States.
What state is?
So it's hard to find somebody that's legit. New York State.
Oh boy, have you able to talk to Vincent Davis yet?
No, I was going to try and call him first thing in the morning, but we have a whole hour the time difference.
Well, I know you do, but by talking on my live stream, you've talked before, haven't you?
Yes.
And I set you up.
He's the one who helped me.
I set you up.
He helped me before with the case.
I set you up with him for a private consultation, right?
Yeah, I didn't know how to do that. There was a link there, but I couldn't push. There wasn't. It said that like you had to put your card and stuff information in there.
Okay.
I didn't know how to do that whole thing.
It is a free consultation. You should not have to put a credit card in there. Have you talked to Grace, my show producer? Did she contact you and set you up with an appointment with Vincent?
No.
Well, I tell you what, we're going to start over again tonight, or when you get done talking. I want you to text me your full name, your email, and your phone number, and we'll try again for another meeting. I will stress upon the fact that she had trouble with the link you gave her contacting Vincent Davis. Could you please set her up again, okay?
Yes, I would appreciate that. Thank you so much. What number do I text?
Well, you text 626-698-0990. That's the number you call me.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, and you text them, and they will give you the link. Hold on a second, please. All right. I'm so sorry. I had to take care of a personal matter. Um, I'm back again. We have Dorothy Cook, who's talked a couple times since she's been on the phone. Um, she asked if this was a housing authority or rent assistant program that you're in. Is that a housing authority?
I guess I have Section 8. It's really supposed to be built for college kids, but it's a way for like the system to get more money. That's what they're doing.
All right. Okay. All right. And they say, is the group home a placement considered a part of CPS? Does CPS now do group homes?
No, they don't like it doesn't. They don't tell you anything about that. But if you think about how it's all set up, yeah, you would understand.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I've been in it.
It's a really long story.
I know what a group. I know what a group home is. CPS does own group homes, and they put people like.
It's not a group home. It's like a housing complex.
Okay.
And they have like different types of people in here. Like
yeah.
A lot of the people that came in here before me and while I was in here, they're all out. They're on disability, and that's what it is. People with disability checks, I think, because at disability checks and they were addicts and all that. So they would sit there, and most of these people are also on Section 8. So they have to pay a lot of money. So they have the drug dealers all on a column, like on first, second, third, and fourth floor. There's 4 floors, and there's one. They're all stacked right on top of each other, and the cops are involved in all this. And they know about it all. And what they do is, like, the dealers will sit there and take your whole disability check, and then they don't care. They wait until you rack up enough rent where you can't get yourself ahead, even with a month's check or whatever. And then they take you evict you.
Wow.
And, like, everybody who was here is out within a year. Like, I've watched them all go. Like, none of them have stayed here more than a year. And I'm in here almost 2 years. And I'm striving. Like, I'm still doing fine. And I think that's the problem.
Well, Cassandra, what you need to
based on
do.
statistics and politics.
What you need to do is, do you have any family members anywhere back in your life that live in another state?
I do.
What you need to do is you need to write a heartwarming letter to that family member and tell them your situation. I know it's a lot to ask of them, but maybe they can set you up with a job, and you can have a temporary place to stay and get food stamps because you're low income, and get medical for you and your child, and do your life. Your daughter is almost 18 at 17. She'll go out and find you. Your 18-year-old is still going to keep in touch.
I'm ready to leave. I don't want to get my son out of the hospital.
You just need to get out of the way.
It's not right that they keep doing this to everybody.
Well, I know that, but you can't fight the war. You're going to have to, CPS is corrupt in that neck of the woods. And the problem being is they're trying to put fear in everybody because of people in poverty. And they should not be.
And I think that's the problem. Is that
they need to do more than poverty. They need to get people out of it. They need to provide home and shelter. They need to provide a shelter. They need to provide food and transportation, education, and even get you a job. That's what the purpose of CPS is for.
All they value is putting money in their pockets.
Right. And it's a slow process.
I had a worker, my last worker, the last case, her boyfriend just got pregnant with, he was a drug dealer and he had guns and stuff on him. And they let him out. She has her kid.
Yeah.
I just don't know what to do. I can't find anybody out here that's not corrupt to help me win this case. And like I said too, I'm on my 3rd lawyer. They haven't even given me another lawyer because after I told the last 2 lawyers about themselves and how I know the whole operation, how it works, and when I was told what to do, what papers to file, my business stuff, and I told my lawyer what she needs to do, like she was like, I don't think this is a good fit. I'm gonna put in my paperwork to not take herself off my case. Yeah.
I think your best solution is Where is this? Where is your son now? Where is he now? Right now? Boy. Oh boy.
Sorry, mailbox is full. To send an SMS notification, press 5. Your SMS notification will include your number 16266980990. You may enter a different number now, or press the pound sign to send your SMS. Your SMS. Please leave your message for.
Okay, Cassandra, I've lost you. It's getting close to the end of my show here. Cassandra was talking. She is very high strung. Her case is really bad. She's been bouncing around like a ping pong ball. And Christina says she was in a group home, had no CPS case, though. That's interesting. What kind of a group home was it, Christina? And welcome, JD. Do you have a CPS case you'd like to make a comment on or text about your case, JD? I believe JD is from Los Angeles. I haven't seen him in quite a while. So anyway, tonight we've had Cassandra, who is Tony the Tiger, talk on the show several times. She has a bad phone connection. She is struggling. She's from New York, and she really has had a hard time. We've had Dorothy Cook from North Carolina with a lot of advice. Thank you, Dorothy. And we have Christina Reynosa from California. And I want to thank you very much. I want to thank all of you for calling in. And okay, Christina Reynosa is talking about Orange, Thorpe, and Fullerton. I'm not familiar with that group home there. The one I'm talking about, the Orange County uses, is in Tustin. It's a group home, and it was headed up by Boys Town, USA, but Boys Town really does not know how to run group homes or CPS. They're more geared to homes that have no mothers or fathers. So I'm great, JD, but I need to end my show. It's now 8 o'clock. I've gone way over my time now. And I want to thank you all for calling in. I hope to see you the next night. I'll be on tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. Please tune in to me. Keep fighting for your kids. God bless you. And there'll be a short ending video. Please listen to it. Good.
A vivid picture is encrypted in your mind as the critics get in line like they're witnessing a crime. But then you notice there's a shiver in your spine from the feelings of discontentment and bitterness combined. Heartbroken when you listen to the judges, another kid's innocence corrupted, and if you go against then it's destructive. Consider this predicament the toughest, but we believe in a system fit for justice. Child Protective Services only pretends to save it. The one solution for this is worthy of instant praises. 30 years of experience with relentless cases. Allow me to introduce them. This is Vincent Davis, defending you when they don't think a mother fits the role. Is it juvenile dependency or government control? Observe the pain in their eyes. It's time for us to realize we are the last ones left. But